kindly tell us who you are and what you do, please?
I'm Steve Richards. I'm a journalist, but I also tour around with a show I call Rock and Roll Politics, a one-man show which changes all the time, really, depending what's happening in the world of politics. But the kind of basic intention remains the same, which is to take people behind the scenes of politics so they hopefully understand more the kind of dilemmas that politicians face. And that's, I travel around London, England, and the Edinburgh Festival with it, and indeed the festival here. So quite a lot at the moment.
If you could you please just tell us some of the material that you'll be performing later on this evening at the Beyond Borders Festival?
Yeah, I'm going to focus on the referendum, but from a kind of distinct point of view. There's no point me coming from London to give an informed view about what's been happening in Scotland to an audience largely from Scotland, because they will know more than me. So what I think I can do, in a way that's hopefully entertaining as well, is look at how referendum campaigns in the United Kingdom generally both change everything and change nothing at all. I've got a theory about referendums. So, for example, the whole UK had, the only single UK-wide referendum we've ever had was in 1975 about whether we stay in or out of Europe. And by the end, it was getting as intense as the one in Scotland now. And a big majority voted to stay in Europe. And it stifled the debate about Europe for about 5 seconds, and then it was off again. And so I've got this theory that while this is having a profound impact on Scotland, the debate will carry on whatever the result in September. And anyway, so that's my way in, because I can't come up here and say, right, I will tell you what's been happening in Scotland in this referendum, because the audience will know more than me. So we'll be looking at that, we'll be looking at some of the characters. Alistair Darling, who's had this extraordinary career. At Westminster, he had a reputation of being just this calm pair of hands who would kill every issue that he was in charge of. And then suddenly he became Chancellor of the Exchequer, and banks went bankrupt and everything was dramatic. And now he's running this historic campaign. It's a very odd career. So we'll look at that, bit of Salmond, and then look ahead to the British general election, because most people in that room will be having a vote in that British general election. So that will bring the non-Scots in as well. And I'm looking forward to it. It'll be very interesting.
Picking up a lot of the Scots worries that if they vote yes, there might be almost a sort of if they vote no, there'll almost be a sort of revenge almost. So you'll be sort of put back in your place. Is that paranoid nonsense, or do you think there might be an element of truth in that?
I think the opposite, actually. See, what you've got to remember is the politics of all of this. There might be an emotional thing of, right, let's get them now, we've got them safely in. But politically, it's in the interests of the Conservatives, Labour and the Liberal Democrats to do well in Scotland in the British general election. And the only way they're going to do, for the Conservatives just to survive, for the other two to do well, is to offer Scotland more power. So Scotland will get more power come what may in the referendum. And there might be some who say, right, let's get these people, now it's over. Politically, it will all go Scotland's way.
So Scotland is win-win whatever happens?
Yeah. You're laughing. Those of you watching in Scotland. You're laughing. It won't feel like that. I know it's very intense at the moment, and I think the aftermath will be quite intense as well. I think there will be post-mortems where, say, if it's quite narrow, where the losing side will say, look, this was promised, this happened, blah, 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 and on it will go. So I think it will be quite a long time before all this settles down. But objectively, Scotland wins either way.
Sorry to put you on the spot like this, but if you were to call it, which way do you think it would go?
Well, one of the weird things about politics is it's totally unpredictable, and yet opinion polls are accurate these days. So although we all go around saying, God, no idea who's going to win the next British general election, it's us, opinion polls are right. So I believe the polls, and as things stand, the polls suggest it will be a no win. And now that could change, and if it changes, I'll believe those opinion polls. But as things stand, I think every single poll virtually has suggested a no win all the way through. That means, as things stand, as we sit here now, they're on course to win.